Hi guys, welcome to another anime vlog review, and now I'm finally getting to the anime requests that were requested in my anime requests open video. And this first one was suggested by EddieR, and it's Lucky Star. And I should have anticipated somebody would ask me to review this eventually, but I wasn't expecting it to be the first thing I had to watch. So, I have a bit of a history with this show. Let me just start out by saying, I don't like this show. I didn't like it before. I tried watching it years ago, couldn't get into it. I watched it now only because, like, I felt obligated because of the review. And what are my thoughts on it now that I've finally seen it? It's not that good. I don't really like it. So, let me get into what Lucky Star is about. So it's a show that follows 4 high school girls, and then later a whole bunch more, but that's in the second half of the series, and their daily lives, the shenanigans and whatnot. So the 4 main characters are Konata, the otaku, Kagami, the one who she's a twin first off, and she actually studies, she has common sense, she doesn't put up with people's bullshit, and she's not very good at housework. Okay. Her twin sister Tsukasa, who's pretty lazy, kinda ditzy, kinda too laid back for her own good, and has trouble focusing on anything, and she spends more time sleeping than anything else, so that's Tsukasa. And then there's Miyuki, who is the long pink-haired, rich, well-endowed, intelligent girl of the group, who also wears glasses, and Konata constantly refers to as Moe. So she knows a lot of things, she likes learning, but she's afraid of the dentist, she's clumsy, and so on and so on. So those are our 4 main characters, and out of all of them, the only one I really cared about was Kagami, because she didn't deal with anybody else's bullshit. Let me just start off first by saying I didn't like Konata. And Konata is really the deal breaker if you like this show or not. I did not care for Konata. It's just basically she's just a stereotype of otaku that instead of doing her homework or studying, just plays games all the time. I mean, I like anime and stuff during high school, but I still studied, I still did my homework. Like, I didn't like it, but I did it anyways. But this is basically the stereotype of, like, person who just plays MMOs all the time. And I know this show is 7 years old at this point, but still, like, that's a little pathetic, in my opinion. I know it's a joke, too, but to anybody who's not into anime, who casually would come across this show, they would think that we're all like that. And anime fans are not all like Konata. I do share a couple things, like having to get the limited edition thing, collecting, that kind of stuff. Yeah, but I wouldn't say I'm as desperate as Konata, so. But yeah, she does make some funny moments here and there, and the show does have its moments. I just want to say that right now. Even though I don't like the show, it has its moments, but it's not enough to make me like the show. Okay, so I don't like Konata. I like Tsukasa because she doesn't doesn't put up with anybody's bullshit, and she is maybe a little tsundere, but I don't really care about that. And when she does get caught off guard, it's adorable because she tries to fucking defend herself, and it just ends up being a jokes in the end. Tsukasa, other than the fact that she shares the name with Kamen Rider Decade, I don't really care. She's basically the lazy one. I guess I'm kind of lazy too, but I don't sleep in until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Only till 11:30 in the morning, so. But, so yeah, I can't really identify with Tsukasa that much. Miyuki was just kind of there. I don't know. So then we have side characters, and the first 2 side characters that are really important are the teacher, Kuroi-sensei, and Konata's aunt, I guess. Aunt, maybe? Yui? Anyways, Yui's not a cop, but she's not very good at her job. And Kuroi-sensei is basically the, she's the hard-nosed teacher, but at the same time she's laid back and plays the same MMO as Konata, so constantly bugging Konata to get her homework done. They're okay characters. Also, Kuroi-sensei's single, and she thinks Yui is single, so they're like, they're single warriors, and Yui's just like, I'm actually not single. I shouldn't say anything because it would hurt her feelings. So that was kind of funny. They also had an initial D joke in one of the episodes with those two characters, and I thought it was really cool. So, but there's also side characters. There's later on, but the main ones I want to talk about are the characters from Lucky Channel. So that would be Akira and Shirai, I guess, is the guy who's the friggin' assistant. I think it's Shirai. I can't remember. But anyways, like the Lucky Channel stuff at the end is basically for a drawn out end joke about how, you know, Akira's this like idol, and then Shirai will say something, and then she'll quickly change from her cutesy idol to like an annoyed, pissed off, angry woman, basically being like, why do you get all the roles? Well, I'm the idol here. I should get all the roles. Don't act so high and mighty just because you think you got a couple roles. Just stuff like that. And the Lucky Channel parts are really cool. They're some of my favorite parts of the show. Also, in the first half of the series, they use they sing karaoke at the end. The four main characters sing karaoke at the end. Of different songs, and then in the second half of the series, the producer, director, whatever, I guess they ran out of budget for animating those, for doing that, or they just want to do something different. They basically take him out to like a seashore or like a parking lot and make him sing random songs, and that's the ending. That's funny, because some of the stuff is funny. Like, there's one part where he sings, like, I forget what he sings the Shikaider theme, which I don't even think is a real theme, while running around with a Deno belt, because Deno was the rider at the time, Kamen Rider Deno, and it's just ridiculous because he's like singing and he's just going ha and running into nothing with like a toy belt. So those are pretty funny. But the series as a whole, it does have its moments, and it does have some funny moments, and it's supposed to be a slice of life comedy, but it's so goddamn boring, and this is why I don't like it. The first episode, 75% of the episode is spent talking about how you eat food. I'm not kidding. And they bring up this conversation again a couple episodes later, and then they spend another 10 minutes talking about food. I'm sorry, but I don't want to listen to high school girls talk about food. Is there an audience for that? Maybe. There are people who say this is one of the best animes of all time, which I have to completely disagree because, like, let me get this straight. I used to criticize this anime for not having a plot. You don't need to have a plot to have a good show. There are plenty of slice-of-life shows that don't have a cohesive plot, but it helps. And with a plot, you feel more connection to the characters and the story going on. There's no story here. I have no connection to these characters. It's just... People call this the Seinfeld of anime. Seinfeld has a plot and has story. They call it a show about nothing, but it's not about nothing. Lucky Star is literally a show about nothing. It's literally an exaggeration of what Japanese high school girl life would be like. And it has funny moments, but it's not funny in general, and it's boring. Nothing happens. And again, like I said, you don't have to have a story for the show to be good. But something has to happen. Like, something. It's just, nothing happens in the whole show. And the worst part about this is, this show is 24 episodes. I know there's an OVA, but it wasn't available on Crunchyroll, and fuck that, I'm not watching it. The episodes feel so much longer than they should. watching one episode feels like I've watched five episodes of something else. This anime took me almost a month to finish because I dreaded watching episodes 1, and 2, one episode would completely drain me. Usually I can hammer through 6 episodes or more a day of an anime, but watching 1 or 2 of Lucky Star, I'm drained for like at least a couple days. So, because nothing happens. Nothing happens, and I'm just sitting here going, is something, like, am I supposed to be engaged? Like, there are good moments, like the comic store owners trying to get Kanata's money because Kanata is known as, like, Legendary Girl A because she spends money and gets a limited edition everything. So whatever is new, she'll buy at full price, regardless of it being on sale later. So part of the... Whenever she goes to the comic store, they try to get her to buy the newest thing. So, the newest DVD, the newest comic, the newest game. And those parts are great. They're funny. They actually kind of remind me a lot of Super Robot shows. Because Super Robot shows are all intense and whatnot. And they get all intense and the animation changes and stuff when it goes in there. The show has great moments. It has great moments. The problem is, they're too few and far between with the story that just drags on and on and on. Wait, sorry, not story, lack of story, and just talking about bullshit, and it just drags on and on and on. I realize I'm shitting on people's favorite anime here, but you have to understand too, you gotta do more than just give me cute characters and expect me to like a show. Like, when K-On! Came out, I overpraised the shit out of it. I'll admit that right now. But even comparing it now, K-On! Had a fucking plot. And even when it felt like they weren't doing anything, they were doing something. And I have a friend, my buddy Wizwar says all the time, he doesn't like K-On! But he likes Lucky Star. And we've had this argument before about which one is better. I think K-On! Is a better show because they actually do something and it doesn't bore me to death. I can watch the entire first season in a fucking day and not feel like I've been drained. Whereas if I watch 2 episodes of Lucky Star, I feel like I don't want to watch it for at least a couple days. And sometimes I would not watch Lucky Star for a few days because I didn't feel like watching it and feel like emotionally drained. I've never been not so productive in my life when I was trying to watch this show. And as soon as I was done, I started working on videos non-stop. So I was just like, it drains everything from me just to fucking watch an episode of this show. And the only thing that I cared about in the entire show was the few funny moments at the comic shop and anything that has to do with Kagami. Kagami ended up being my favorite character, or sorry, the only character I could identify with or like, because she didn't deal with people's bullshit. If she wasn't in the show, this show would be shit outright. It would just be outright shit. I don't like it. I think it's not that good of an anime. There are way better slice of life animes from before this show even came out. I'm not even talking about new stuff. I'm talking about stuff before this show came out. There are plenty of shows in the same genre that did a much better job of it than Lucky Star did. Lucky Star is just cutesy, fan-servicey crap, and not fan-servicey as in there's anything like sexual in it, because there's not. There's one hot spring scene in the whole show that, or not hot spring, it's bath, whatever, same thing. And no, they don't show anything. Not that I'd want to see it anyways with this show, because the characters look way younger than they're supposed to be, but there's not anything... I can't think of any positives with the show except for the few funny moments it has. And really, is that worth 24 episodes? Maybe 12 episodes, but not 24, plus an OVA, which I haven't seen because, again, it's not on Crunchyroll. So, my final verdict on Lucky Star is I cannot recommend Lucky Star. If you have the urge to watch Lucky Star, there are animes you should watch before it, like Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. Even with Endless 8, I would prefer to watch Endless 8 over and over again until it became 24 episodes, then watch goddamn Lucky Star again. Because at least with Endless 8, something actually happens. It's 8 episodes long, but at least something ends up happening. And Endless 8 is kind of a troll, too. So there's, like, the funny part of it, too. But Lucky Star just... there's nothing for me to get out of that, except for maybe 1 or 2 funny moments. And I cannot recommend it at all. And, I feel like I wasted part of my life watching this show. Like, if it was 12 episodes, maybe I wouldn't have been so hard on it, but it was 24 goddamn episodes, and it felt like I watched 60 of nothing. So, I'm sorry to anybody who really likes this show. I'm sorry to Wiz. I'm sorry to any of you guys who said this is your favorite anime. I don't like Lucky Star, and I don't think it's a good anime. And I cannot recommend it to anybody. Anyways, thanks for watching my vlog review on Lucky Star. What a way to start off my requests. Next time I'm going to be getting to... the next request on my list is Dear Boys, which was requested by my friend SCXCR. So it's next on my list. And it's like a 12-episode basketball anime. I'll probably be able to get through that in a couple days. But anyways, EddieR, thank you for the request. But also... screw you for making me watch this show. Anyways, guys, I'm Zero. Thanks for watching my vlog review. I'll see you on the next vlog review. If I'm not dead by then.